Hi, it's Harriet. May is Food Allergy Awareness Month and Asthma Awareness Month, and I'm going to try to do some videos on very different topics. But today, I have a question, and it's kind of more like a discussion, but I'm posing the question, and then I'll give some fact, and then I would love to have some feedback. So, one thing I see a lot in food allergy groups is that people seem to argue back and forth. They could have multiple food allergies and they're just happy if the school goes nut-free. And this is a concept that boggles my mind as a multiple allergy parent. Why? Because what are you getting if you just remove the nut? Your child could still be allergic to a million other things, to dairy, eggs, fish, wheat, soy, 170 foods. But let's say you have a child who has a peanut, tree nut, sesame, coconut, because even though it's a tree nut, it's not, dairy, egg, and wheat. And then throw in like an apple allergy, right? So let's say you have an EpiPen. These are all IgE mediated, proven allergens. Why are you only asking for the nut-free? Because the management that's required for all the other allergens is the same thing for the nut. And a lot of times I hear parents say, well, if we get rid of one, then I don't have to worry about the other. But that's not true. That's not true. And what's really interesting is that dairy and eggs and wheat and soy are much more pervasive. They're in everything. They're everywhere. And what you're setting up is that there's this peanut, tree nuts are the big bad. And then this is a really serious allergy. But the other allergies are not that serious, even though they could very well be. Past reactions don't predict future reactions. So if you know you are allergic, let's say you get a hive or you get a mild response the first time, it doesn't mean that the next time you're exposed to that food that you won't have anaphylaxis. And too often, parents are just focusing on the nut as the big bad, but if the child has multiple food allergies, again, they're just as much as at risk. If not more so, because particularly in early childhood, there's kids with bottles, they're drinking milk, they have their goldfish crackers. So my question to parents of food allergic children, who are multiple food allergic children, not peanut, tree nut only, but multiple, how do you rationalize picking one allergen over any other? My kids are dairy for both. I'm dairy myself. They have had anaphylaxis to dairy twice each. One has some tree nuts. We've never seen a reaction. We saw a mild reaction actually to cashew once. That's how we kind of suspected they were allergic to cashew. But almonds and peanuts are okay, but other tree nuts are not. And they have a sesame allergy. When I list my kids' allergies, I don't say, only worry about the dairy. Yes, dairy has a special box on their action plan that they're extremely reactive, but everyone needs to know that they can't feed them sesame or tree nuts, or my other son is allergic to beef. And fish. So again, it boggles my mind that, and I keep saying that, because I don't understand why we can pick. If we want to send a message, we need to send the message that all food allergies are equal, obviously, because they all need to be treated equally. The management is the same: hand washing, reading labels, surface wiping, always carrying your medication. But why do we feel this sense of security, and I never did, if we remove one, like the nut, then everything else is okay? So I'd like to present this question. Can you please give me just examples of why, if you have a multiple allergy kid, why you don't feel as concerned about all the other allergens? Why is sending them to a nut-free place important, but it's okay for the other allergens to be present? One thing I also want to say is that there was a study done recently in the last couple of years that showed that schools that were nut-free actually had higher rates of anaphylaxis than schools that implemented nut-free tables. I don't agree with allergy tables so much to say, because I personally removed my kid from an allergen table because it was really just a nut-free table. And when you're dealing with multiple allergens and when the milk is still present and the other stuff is still present, you might as well sit at the table with your friends. Just come up with a plan to do that. So, like this video and give me your comments on why we pick nut-free versus all other allergies. Why is one, you're okay to get rid of one worrying about, but the worry is still the same for all the others? Thanks. Bye.